everybody, welcome back to GivReads. I'm Andrew Givler, and I give you reads. That's how that works. If you're new around here, I'm an author, a booktuber, and a gaming YouTuber. I do a lot of things. I like to stay busy, but I really, really love stories. And here, we talk about stories, storytelling, and all my favorite things about it. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, you like this kind of conversation, make sure to hit the like button so YouTube knows you like stuff like this. Also, hit the subscribe button, okay? It would really, really help me out as we're trying to grow the channel. I'd appreciate it. Today is a video I'm actually really excited about, and I think I will do this one every so often whenever there's a good pile up, but you've probably seen from the title and the thumbnail, but these are books that I have pre-ordered. That's right, series that I'm so excited about, I've absolutely made sure to lock in and buy the next one before it comes out, okay? I'm actually excited about doing this because I think that everything in the list is something that isn't super common or super hyped yet. So one, I want to be able to be like a hipster and be like, look at me, I had these first. And two, I want to recommend some great series to you that you guys need to check out. So I have, I think, 5 books on my pre-order list right now that I'm going to talk about, and that list goes up and down, obviously, because books come in cycles and in waves, and that's just how it works. The first one I want to talk about is actually one that I know very little about. It's called The Book That Wouldn't Burn. It's by Mark Lawrence. Now, Mark Lawrence is a legend. You should know who he is. He's written some amazing books. These are books like the Red Sister series, the King of Thorns series. Really, really, really fun, kind of like dark, gritty fantasy. I pretty much will read anything he puts out. I really, really enjoy them. They're always a great read. And this one is the reason I'm bringing it up first is simply because it's the first book in the series, so we don't know very much about it. The Book That Wouldn't Burn, first of all, it's just a really compelling title to me. I love that. And the one little blurb we have: 2 strangers find themselves connected by a mysterious and vast library, which contains many wonders and more secrets, in the powerfully moving first book in a new series from the international bestseller author of Red Sister and Prince of Thorns, which I already said. So that's on my list. If you like those series, first of all, you should check them out. 2, you should pre-order this book. Nice and easy, on to the next. Number 2 is a book that I'm actually very excited about. It's written by a friend of mine, Retzi Bruno and Jamie Castle. I know both of them. I know Jamie pretty well. They are fantastic guys. It's called Vain Pursuits. It is the sequel to Cold as Hell. And I actually am going to do a video on Cold as Hell entirely, but I will give you the quick little spiel right now because I do want to recommend it and recommend you guys check it out. Cold as Hell is basically like, I think the genre sometimes gets called weird Western, which I don't love that. I think it's Western fantasy, right? Like, and same if we have urban fantasy, we should have Western fantasy. That's my 2 cents. We're going to talk about that in depth. Basically, the main character was an outlaw who died, and when he died, instead of dying, was given the chance to come back and be a black badge, basically a marshal, but for like the angels. And he's sent out to like hunt down demons and stuff like that. And then it's like full Wild West, 6 shooters and cowboys, you know, and Winchesters and not Dean and Sam, but just like, you know, the technology. And I love it. I actually really, really want to write a Wild West fantasy at some point. Like, it's on the list. I have an idea. It's just we'll get to it when we get to it, pretty much. But Vain Pursuits is book 2. Like I said, book 1 was a ton of fun. I will be linking in the description. I highly recommend you check this out if you like kind of like the Wild West vibe. I really enjoyed they work in some of the monsters from like North American legend, which are also really, really cool and don't get enough attention. I'm really excited to see where they take the series. And also, Rhett and Jamie are both amazing authors, so the whole ride is great. The audiobook is also narrated by the guy who is Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption, the main character of Red Dead Redemption. So if you're into audiobooks, you should get that because that's like a living legend as the voice, right? I will talk about this book more in depth because I love it. It's really cool. And I want to do stuff in this genre because I think this genre is underrepresented. And we'll get to that. I'm moving on, but that's number 2. You should go get it. Number 3 is called The Traitor, and it's from The Covenant of Steel by Anthony Ryan. Now, Anthony Ryan has written some books that I really, really, really enjoy. You guys remember I recently did a video talking about the 7 Sword series that came out, and to Blackfire Keep was a new one coming out. He writes that, which is another series that I just tremendously enjoy. A ton of fun. I think the 7 Sword series isn't necessarily like super fancy. Like, it feels like he's writing it for fun a little bit, but I really enjoy it. I have a ton of fun reading it. The big one he's known for is Raven's Blade, which was a really, really great series about this like monk trained in the ways of war, growing up to become a noble and protecting the realm. Really good stuff. And he has like a magic power and a whole bunch of that series is his best, I think, by far. It's probably the one that like is his most popular. I really, really enjoy it and recommend it. But Covenant of Steel is kind of his new series that's getting a ton of traction. The first one's called The Traitor, I believe. No, The Pariah. No, this one's called The Traitor. Hello. It's The Pariah, The Martyr, The Traitor. And it's a really, really cool world about, it's the like memoirs of this guy who was a servant to a woman who people thought was sort of like a reborn saint. Like, she had died and come back and had been chosen to sort of lead like this holy war to protect their nation. And that may or may not be true. There's some skepticism involved. And this guy who's like her right-hand man, he he did some things that nobody else knows. He messed around with some dark powers that sort of made her appear this way. He did it to save her life, but it sort of spirals out of control. And in doing so, he sort of has created this thing that he cannot control. Not like a thing person, but like the social, political situation is falling apart. And here he is, like the right-hand man of this woman he's trying to protect, who doesn't need his protection, but did need him to save his life at one point. And it's just spiraling in a most delicious way. You know, everything's gonna be worse, and I'm excited for that personally. So book 1 and book 2 are both really, really fun. They have great reviews on Amazon and GoodReads. You should for sure check them out. Traitor's book 3 that comes out in July, so I'm early on this one. I think this is one I just added to my pre-order list. It just popped up, but very, very excited about it. This is a series I'm enjoying reading as it comes out. I've read everything Anthony Ryan has written, so I pretty much have to read it as it comes out now. That's my lot in life. I suffer. Thank you for admitting it. But if this is a great series to get on board, and with book 3 coming out, if you're not already on board, now's the time. We love some good dark political fantasy. We do. Number 4 on my list is another series that I don't really hear people talk about, which is shocking to me because I think it's really cool, and also the author's a legend. It's by Larry Correia, who you should know. He wrote Monster Hunter International and a bunch of other really, really, really popular books. And it's the Saga of the Forgotten Warrior. Book 4 is the one that's on my pre-order list currently, which is called Tower of Silence. That will be coming out April 4th, right before my birthday. Oh, awesome. I'll probably read that as a birthday present to myself. Now, the Saga of the Forgotten Warrior is a really cool world. It's like not our world at all, right? High fantasy in that regard. And there are demons that live in the ocean. And they are like mindless monsters that come out of the water and chomp on us, right? They can walk on all fours. Like they kind of, I guess, amphibious would be the word we're looking for here. And in being amphibious, people are afraid of the ocean and the water. They won't cross puddles that are too big. If the poorest villages are the ones right on the water, the fishing villages. I don't even think they eat fish, actually. I can't remember. But you know what I mean? Like there's this big superstition around water, which is super cool. And then there is this metal. It's like a black obsidian type thing, which is a heirloom black sword that gets passed down through families. And it has the memories of all the warriors who have ever wielded it inside, like all the ancestors basically. And it chooses a member of the family that's the most worthy, and it gets passed down through generation. And every one of the great houses has a single one of these. It's like this very rare metal. There is no more. Whoever's chosen to bear it is like really popular, really, great, etc. And sort of the pinnacle of power for that house. And like they revolve around like their greatest warrior. He can fight, tons of demons, kill them, etc., etc., etc. Super strong, super fast powers. The premise of this book is basically this really, really strict warrior who carries it. There's a strong caste system in the book. So he's in the warrior caste. He's not aware of the struggles of the other people. And he begins to get exposed to it and realize the injustices that are existing in their system that are also being manipulated and beleaguered by demons and a whole bunch of stuff. It has a lot of the cool kind of like cultural feel and political feel that to me felt similar in some ways to how the Rage of Dragons was worked. So Evan Winter's novel also kind of had like a caste system, and it had sort of all these structures, and it had sort of like, the poor people who had no chance having a chance to get a champion and expose the hypocrisy and the cruelty of everybody involved. First 3 books have been really phenomenal. The political intrigue is great. The action is fantastic. Of course, it's Larry Correia. He writes amazing action. I got to meet Larry recently at a convention. He was super nice. I'm very excited for this book to come out. It's been a while since book 3 came out too, so I'm very excited to see where this goes. It's on my pre-order list. It will be linked down below. Now, number 5 on my list is the one I'm most excited about, but also I have to wait till July 25th, so I'm trying not to get too excited right now, but there's finally another Red Rising coming out. This is not a drill. 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 Calm down, everybody. Everybody stop panicking. I'm panicking. So if you don't know Red Rising by Pierce Brown, you're missing out. It's probably one of the best sci-fi series I've read in a long time. I know on this channel I don't shut up about Sun Eater and Empire of Silence. I read Red Rising and Empire of Silence right at the same time. I enjoyed them both about the same. I think one's like, Empire of Silence is a little older to me, like a slightly more mature audience. Not in content, but just like in style, and Red Rising's like slightly more a YA approachable, but isn't YA, and that would be like the big distinguishing factor between the two of them. But I also think they wrestle with a lot of the same ideas, and they have some similarities to me. I love them. So freaking cool. Again, another thing with cast systems. Cast systems can be really, really fun writing devices. This is book 6, and Pierce Brown took a break after book 5. He needed a little like calm down. I totally blame him. I can't imagine having a series write that quickly and then explode that much. Had to be a lot of pressure. So I'm really, really excited for this comeback. The basic premise of the original 3, which is now expanded into a 6-book series, is there's a guy named Darrow. Darrow is a member of the Red Caste, which lives on Mars, and they are the miners, and they live deep down in the trenches. And everybody basically has like a color they have it. There's like the golds that rule, the silvers that are their right hands, the grays are the bodyguards, the blues are like the techies, I think. Yellow, I don't remember what yellow it is, but you get the idea, right? And red's like the lowest tier. Basically, there's a rebellion that starts through the Reds and up to some of the other like lower castes. And Darrow gets genetically modified to become a gold. And they sneak him into like the gold training camp for military geniuses. And he gets trained in all the ways of their fighting. And being a gold is like bigger, stronger, faster, right? So he's completely changed, but he's still like a red at heart. And then he leads this rebellion and starts like overthrowing worlds and like setting up a new republic and all that kind of stuff. And it's super freaking sick, man. It's so cool. The science of how the cast works is really fun. The style of how it works and the characters, they're incredible. It's the kind of stuff that I hope to write a quality level of. So this is number one on my list for upcoming books on my pre-order list. Please go pre-order it. I highly recommend it. I will be linking all of these series, and you can go back to book one if you want, because you just click on Amazon and go to the other one. Otherwise, grab the up-to-date one. I'm very excited for all these. Let me know what you guys have on your pre-order list. I want to know what you guys are excited about coming up soon. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you found it helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button to hang out with me more. We got more videos coming out soon. I'm very excited about. We'll see you soon.